Alright, Mega Von and everybody, it is Poteen Bowen again on a Red Line Champion. So, the last two videos I've been doing, I tried to do a Hunter and a Champion because I know those are the most popular classes, at least the most played. So, for Red Line, this is going to be the Berserker line. So, deals single target damage, crit-based melee damage. Okay? So the first thing we're going to go through, we'll go through class traits, we'll go through the virtues, then we'll go through the LIs, and then we'll go through a rotation. We'll combat to the first boss for sure. If that goes really smoothly, then we'll probably go after the next two. If it doesn't, then we'll quit the video there. We'll go over a rotation cap again, and then I'll let you guys go. With that, if you guys love the content, please, feel free to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. I'm on Twitch usually daily. Tuesday through Saturday, I'm on LOTRO, and Monday and Sunday, I'm on the Elder Scrolls Online. So that's it. And I do stream on YouTube and Twitch. All right. So let's begin here. So I'm going to be using a two-handed weapon instead of dual wielding. I know now Martial Champion, which is my favorite line of the champion, that's the tank one. You can now use dual wield with that. They just put dual wield block in the last update. So very cool, very cool. I will be doing something on that at some point in the future. Okay, so Berserker, the first thing I do is I like to max out my critical chance increase. So that'll get my melee critical chance up. Then Brutal Strikes, which will use a pip system. So basically, the pip system is going to be this down here. Once you get 3, then you can access abilities and stuff. So this one just gives me the ability, which is Brutal Strikes. So if it's crit, I will obviously put a bleed on it. Otherwise, it's a free attack. Then I'm doing Wild Swings, which Wild Swings critical increases critical chance by 5 for 10 seconds, plus 25% wild attack damage. Ebbing Error, which is going to be reducing threat generated by the champion, so that's nice for DPS. Vicious Strikes, which is going to be 10% strike skill critical chance. Battle Reflexes, which is just going to make me attack faster, so my attack duration is down by 10%. I haven't put anything in Hamstring because I don't have anything that really runs away. Obviously, if I get into PvP or PvMP, then I will probably put more points in the Hamstring. Deadly Strikes, so 25% critical chance for strike skills. Anything with the word strike in it is counted as a strike skill. Damage to strike skills, so same thing, another 10%. Vicious Strikes, this is my big rotation. I like to use this to begin with. It needs at least 5 fervor, but it does require removes 4. So this is just going to be a big 3-strike hit. Deep Strikes. Now this is strike skills critical chance applies a bleed, which is what you're seeing on there. I have it maxed out, so 40% deep strike bleed damage. The next one is Merciful Minded. Merciful Strike will always critical hit, which is nice. So once we'll see what Merciful Strike does. Once their health hits a certain health point, then we can start using Merciful Strike. Controlled Burn. This is a fantastic way to increase damage, speed, but also it starts to give me pips. So it's a way to kind of regenerate pips. This one is one I'm going into later, which is Athletics. So my Sprint now causes champion's next attack to briefly stun the target. So kind of like if it was tanking, you would use it as a way, kind of like Rush does in WoW. Killing Spree. Okay, so after every kill, I restore 10% of my max morale. That's very handy. Weapons Masters. So dual wielding, I will get plus 3% chance to parry, plus 5% damage. While wielding a single weapon, which is what I'm going to be doing, I'll get 5% attack speed and 15% critical damage. And then I do use Champion's Duel. you will see me use this. It's a debuff. It debuffs them on their target speed, reduces their outgoing damage, so it reduces that, but it also increases my melee damage, so I like that. Now, as you unlock your skills here, you will also unlock these side skills. Fervor. So increases champion skill damage by 5% per Fervor pip. So that's nice. As my pips build, I actually hit harder and harder. Precision strikes. On every strike skill, a critical hit, I add a Fervor. On every hit, I also get negative 3% attack duration for 80 seconds. So, a haste. Emboldened Blades. So this increases Emboldened Blades, so things like Remorseless Strikes and all that gets added up. It gets stacked, actually. So Emboldened Blade strike skills have 100% chance to grant 5% Merciless Strike critical chance, Remorseless Strike damage 10, and Remorseless Strike critical damage. Renewing Strikes, this is one that's going to heal me after I hit people with strikes and crits. Okay, so strike skills will have a chance to return a percentage of healing. This one is Red Haze. So killing an enemy restores full fervor. That is nice. You will see me use that a lot when I start to get my heal, especially after I fight some. Devastation. Devastating Strike bypasses portion of the target's mitigation. So Devastating Strike bypasses 40% of its target's mitigation. That's pretty nice. And Continuous Blood Rage. Blood Rage becomes continuous Blood Rage. In addition to breaking the champion out of combat, it provides immunity, increases resistances by a moderate, and it also restores max fervor. You'll see me use that if I ever get stunned. Okay, so that is the class traits. Oh, I should put this in it. I do put 2 points. So 2 points for everyone that's outside of the line. So for Battle Frenzy, which I do want, that's one I do use. I put 1 point into that, which this one will recover pip for me. And then Mighty Increase, which is just my mites going up. So I need 2 more points to max that one out. Okay, now on to Virtues. Virtues, basically, I'm just going for crits and hits, I want crits as much as possible. So I probably should be using Charity. I don't know why I'm using Charity. That's weird. Oh, well. There should be another crit one in here. Discipline. Nope, I guess I haven't unlocked another crit one. That would probably be why. Alright. So I got Charity up there. I got Wit, which is going to be doing Finesse rating, crit, Physical Mastery, Tactical Mastery. Confidence, which is also going to be doing crit, Finesse, Evade, Physical Mastery, Tactical Mastery. Physical Mastery rating, Finesse, obviously crit again, and Physical and Tactical Mastery. This one's going to be added Might, Crit, Physical Mastery, and Tactical Mastery. Now, if I was leveling up, I don't mind the resistance rating, but I'm probably going to go into Patience. Just because it'll give me that crit I need. But I could switch this with this, but it's not as great. You know what? I'm going to do it. So scratch what I said. We are going to go Determination. Okay? So it's going to be Determination, which is going to be Agility, Physical Mastery, Critical, Physical Mastery, Tactical Mastery. Then we're going to do Wit, Confidence, Valor, and Zeal. Alright? Now, after that, we are going to do our allies. My allies, I'm using a 2-handed sword. I'm going for Heraldry of Line, which is Might, Vitality, Physical Mastery. Single target attack crit, which is exactly what it says it is. I am going to increase my wild attack damage to do more, and remorseless strike damage to do more. Swift strike and blade damage power now restores power, but also it's going to do more damage. And I'm going for the crit, the lightning crit rating. Same thing here, going to go with Lion again. Then I'm doing single target attack damage. Then I'm doing brutal strikes, devastating strikes, ferocious strikes, cooldown, and damage. And then I'm doing the crit again. Alright? So, the rotation will change a bit depending on how much pips I get and when I get the pips. Because I do have a chance of getting extra pips just for hitting stuff, okay? So right away, I like to throw on Champion. Champion's Challenge is obviously, it does a little bit of, they do a little less damage, which, is always nice, but it's also a taunt, and I can do it from some distance. Then I like to do Wild Strikes, which is also going to give me a pip or a fervor. I should start calling it fervor. A Wild Attack and Swift Strikes are both going to give me fervor. Hopefully by then I'll have the 2 or 3 I need to use either Brutal Strike or Remorseless Strike. If not, I'll go all the way down to Devastating Strike. If I do all Devastating Strike, I should have access to Ferocious Strikes, which is what I want to do first. Then I'll try to do these again, depending on what's off a cooldown, and I'll try to hit Remorseless Strikes next. If the mob's not dead by then I'll do Brutal Strikes. If it seems like they're still alive, and I'm taking quite a bit of damage, I will use Bracing Attack. This one, Feral Strikes, I will use. It does remove corruption, but I will use it because it only costs 2 fervor. But I should be gaining extra fervor anyway with the build I have. So I shouldn't have too much trouble hitting these first 3. Obviously, I have Champion's Duel, which is going to increase stuff. You already see me use Champion's Duel on the boss mobs and maybe even multiple pulls. True Heroics is another one I like to use on the boss mobs. They do have a little bit of cooldown on them. So 1 minute for Champion's Duel, 2 minutes for True Heroics. Bracing Attack, once again, once I have up to 3 fervor, I can use this. It's on a 30-second cooldown. It does do damage, but it also gives me a little bit of morale. I wouldn't say substantial, but it's pretty decent. A small amount. That's what they did in the description. That's a perfect way to describe it. Fight On is heals a percentage over time. So if you're going to use Fight On, it has 3 minutes, but it does restore 3% of the max morale every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. So if you do this, you want to do it early because it's like a hot, but it's not a great efficient hot. So you want to pull, if you want to use this one, use it way earlier than you think you need to. I will use Controlled Burn in order to get my increase up and my damage up, power regen, but also because I want that pip added. So it'll add 1 fervor every 5 seconds for 30 seconds. So it's good for sustained fighting. Same thing with Battle Frenzy. Like when I pull multiples, I'm going to use Controlled Burn and Battle Frenzy because I want those pips to be popping up as much as possible so I can hit these crits as often as I can. And I can use Bracing Attack whenever I wish. You probably won't see me using too much of the headbutts or the blade walls. The blade wall is not too bad if I'm fighting one, if I'm fighting one headbutt's not too bad, but blade wall's good for multiple, so I might do it just to kind of reduce their armor, but it doesn't, I don't really use it all that much. And then Merciful Strike is going to be your ender. What Merciful Strike does is a powerful attack that relies, that can only be used once the opponent is under 50%. In addition, this skill will always critical hit, so that's good to know. It will move up to 5 fervor also. And it does have a 10-second cooldown, so it's not too bad. But it's basically your finisher. Alright, I think that's about it. I mean, there are some other stuff in here. I do have my heals, but there is some racial stuff, like Endurance of Stone. You may see me use that during the boss fight. And Dwarf Endurance, which gives me a bunch of vitality for 10 minutes. But the thing is about these, they're on a 30-minute cooldown, so that might be why you don't see them too bad. So once again, I'll just go through the attacks. I do Wild Attack, Swift Strike. If nothing's up, then I will hit Devastating Strike. From up here, my Brutal Strike is actually, Brutal Strike is one I want to use last. Remorseless Strike is one I want to use either in the beginning or in the middle. And then Ferocious Strikes, I want to try to use in the beginning if I can. If my fervor doesn't go fast enough, it doesn't go all the way up to the 4 or the 5 pit fervor I need, then I will just use Remorseless Strike and just keep. I just want the strikes to be rolling all the time. You'll see what I'm talking about here. All right, and away we go. So the first one should be a single target. Obviously, some wigglers are gonna come out. All right, let's see. Once we get these 2, we'll see where we're set up at. There we go. See, I couldn't go all the way, so I just did Shift 2. Because I just want these crits to be hitting all the time. There it is. Now I have enough of it. There we go. Now I'm gonna go for a heal. There we go. Now for this one too, same thing. I am going to do a control. I'm gonna do a control burn and this one because I want to hit as many as I can as fast as possible. There we go. We'll try to use a Merciless Strike again because it is a big damager. I obviously need to burn that. Now once again, I'm trying to get my bracing attack. There we go. I didn't want to use the other one until, which is Fight On. I didn't want to use Fight On if my bracing attack was almost back, which is exactly what I did there. So the bracing attack does do a small amount of morale heal. The Fight On is a 3-minute cooldown. That's the only reason I'll choose to do the other one over the other one. And this should be a pretty lights out, hitting hard red line build. And once again, I am in a 6-man instance, so if I am struggling, you know, obviously that does happen. There we go. We'll start off 4 or shift 3. A Remorseless Strike, I try to hit that as much as possible because it is a great little ability. The cooldown is very fast on it now. I'm going to try to get Bracing Attack and cleanse myself. There we go. I don't want that. I don't want that poison, you know what I'm saying? One down. So once my strikes are up on the top, I use them as fast as possible. I don't really even care about hitting the wild stuff anymore, or the ones that are down at the bottom. I want those wild strikes up top as often as possible. Because that's where the real damage comes in, as you can see. So if they're up, I use them. So I'm basically trying to fight off the shift 1 bars or the shift bar as much as I can. As much as they will allow me to. Otherwise, I'm just using the other ones to build fervor. I'm trying to stay up into the fervor spenders as much as I can. Alright, so same thing here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to shout. But I'm also going to burn 9 and 8. Because I want, I want that up as fast as possible. There we go. Try to use Devastating Strike. Now this one I might slow down. I might just go for Bracing Attack here, just for fun. Just so I know my health is maxed out. Oh, we're just gonna go right into it. I like it. So yeah, since I'm still just gaining fervor as much as I can, I'm just gonna stay up in my fervor spending until they make me come back down and have to fervor. Have to create it. But once again, too, once I create a mob, or once I kill a mob, my fervor goes max. So I know I'll be able to use Remorseless Strike or Vicious Strikes as much as I want, honestly. So we're gonna go back here just to kind of clear the place. Just to kind of show more of the fighting. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get to the next boss areas. Oh, he's got Remorseless. If we got a Merciful Strike, we use it. Boom. Boom. This one we're going to use our Fight On. We're just going to keep fighting. Because the Fight On is a hot, so why not? And we're going to use everything just to burn all this. Everything is buffed right now. So I will be hitting a lot harder since I did all the buffs there. I did every one of them. I did Champions Duel. I did Heroic, True Heroics. And then I burnt Slow Burn, a Controlled Burn, and Battle Frenzy. Which will be the same set I try to use on the boss here. Oh, here we go. Merciful Strike. Remorseless Strike, I guess. I'm sorry. I think that's a active ability. All right, now it's gonna get interesting here. We do got Brace. Like I said, I do know I maxed out my but I max out my fervor when I kill something. That'll go all the way to 5. So I do know my bracing attack or vicious strikes is up. There's a vicious strike. Now remorseless strikes. Now I have merciful strike, which is that's the end game one. Once again, I know I'm maxed out, so I can go for my full heal again. Brace yourself. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so we're very close to the end here. We got 3 more mobs before we try to take out the boss. It's going pretty smoothly. If the boss goes really smooth, then I don't see why we wouldn't try the other 2. I don't think I can kill him, because it requires a lot of sustainable life that I don't know if we will have, especially the DPS line. That's asking a lot. There we go. Those 2 are dead. Yeah, he's going to come this way, so I'm not going to go back there. I'm going to wait for him and then go around the corner here. I'm going to get that ancient burrow right by itself back here. Yes. Just like this. There we go. There we go. I mean, there's no difficulties ramped up or anything, but I am still fighting in a 6-man instance, you know? So that's the kind of damage this guy can do. Alright, now we're going to heal. And there we go. Alright, now, for this boss fight, I'm going to hit this guy, right? When I hit the collar, he's going to spawn 2 guys that come out. So, I'm going to try. I don't know. Maybe I can stun him. Maybe I can keep away. But I'm going to have to kill those ads before I come back to him. Also, once I get him down to about 25% health, he will go green, which means I can't attack him. A bunch of worms are going to come out. And 2 of them I'm going to have to definitely handle. So if this feels like if I survive it, awesome. If I become really close to seeming like I could have killed him, I'll probably try again. If not, then I will call it and we'll do a recap of our rotation, alright? Alright, here we go. There he goes. Alright, now with this, I'm gonna do trade. I'm gonna try to kill this guy before he spawns more. Oh, we got bracing attack. Perfect. Oh, I couldn't pull it off. Okay. Okay, that was pretty good. I felt like I made some mistakes with my rotation there, so I'm gonna try one more time. I think I can do it. I think had I killed that dude faster, the one guy, that would have helped a ton. I do have... this is a 3-second stun. Maybe I should try to use Horn of Gondor. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Alright, let's try it one more time. I felt pretty good. I know I have a 3-second. It's gonna be bad because I don't have my fight on ability. But who cares, right? I'm gonna do it anyway. Heal now. Alright. Yeah, see, I needed it there. Alright. This time I should have it back. This will be my last try, no matter what. Those hots hurt me, or those dots hurt me. They hurt me real good. Alright, what do we got? We got some high level stuff here yet. Not really. Alright, this will be the last one. I should have put that vitality one on me earlier. It's a 10-minute duration. Alright, so this time we're going to actually use our burns this time. We do have a health. Alright, I'm going to go in. I'm going to ult 4 this guy. There we go, headbutt. Alright. There we go, we're going to use the Horn of Gondor. That's it. I don't think I have enough. Alright. So we'll go over the rotations one more time here real fast. Obviously gave it the old college try. If I had some of this stuff off of cooldown, I probably would have been better off. But the first chance was the first one I had. So once again, there's Wild Attack, which I like to use. It gives me a crit chance increase. This adds a little power back. It's Swift Strike. And then Devastating Strike, which is obviously more damage coming into the is the buff, but also does damage itself. These all add fervor. So by then, even if I have to go to Devastating Strike, I'm trying to get to Vicious Strikes as fast as possible. So sometimes it's when I just hit Swift Strike, I'll have it up. Sometimes I have to go to Devastating Strike. So then I do it backwards from here. I use Vicious Strike. Then when these off cooldown, I try to get these back up. These two will get me to Remorseless Strike. Then I use that. And then usually Wild Attack or Swift Strike is off a cooldown. Either one of them let me get Brutal Strike, okay? So that's how I work it. I use these three to unlock Vicious Strikes, unless it happens earlier than Devastating Strike. Then I just go through the rotation again to try to access Remorseless Strike. Then I try to go through the rotation again, as many as I need to, in order to get Brutal Strike. Alright? Bracing Attack is going to be my heal. I do need 3 Fervor for that, so that is something to think about as you're doing these. Same thing, you're trying to build this rotation up to get Bracing Attack in order to heal yourself. I do have, obviously, Gondor's Horn, which you saw me use there. Blade Wall is a little bit of a it takes the mitigation off of them if you want to. I like to open up with Champions Challenge immediately. This is how I pull things because it does have reduced damage. Once I get all those down, I get the mob to 50% health or less. I like to use Merciful Strike. All right. It does do a lot more damage as you have more fervor on, but it's always a crit hit, and that's always nice. Also, with the way this is built up, every time I kill a mob, I will get my fervor stacks all the way up to 5, no matter where it's been. So that's usually why I like to kill something before I use my bracing attack. If I'm having trouble with mobs, then I also have Fight On, which is going to restore 3% morale every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. So remember, this is a hot, so you need to know that it has a cooldown of 3 minutes, so you can't use it all the time. But you need to put it on a little earlier than you think you would, just so you can heal continuously, because it's not a big chunk heal like Bracing Attack is. But Bracing Attack is just a small amount of heal, but it is all at once. Controlled Burn I like to use. It increases it increases my power regen, my melee damage, my speed attack, but also adds fervor when I need it. Battle Frenzy is the same thing, adds fervor when I need it. In order to buff myself or debuff them, which is doing both, Champions Duel is awesome. I love this ability. So I do use it a lot on mobs when it's up. It also adds a fervor, which is nice. True Heroics is another one. It's going to add, they're going to slow them down, but also buff me and give me some power over time. So that's kind of nice. It also does the whole Fellowship, too. I will use Feral Strikes, but I don't usually have to. By using just one of these, I usually get up to Brutal Strikes because of the way the build is. My Fervor is being built usually just off of hits or crits. You didn't see me use it because I didn't get stunned, but Continuous Blood Rage is one that breaks through, slow down states, things like that. Also makes me immune for a while. So I guess I could have used it, but I don't know if it works unless I'm stunned. Fear Nothing is obviously how I get diseases, fears, potions, or poisons off, things like that. Other than that, I think that's about it for it. I do have some racial abilities, Endurance of Stone and Dwarf Endurance, but they're on a 30-minute cooldown, so not reliable. If you want to fight a group of people, you can use Blade Wall, which is going to do an area effect damage. And Gondor, or Horn of Gondor, you need 5 fervor for this, but it will stun for 3 seconds up to 5 targets. So I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, any comments, please leave them. If you want to chat with me live, I'm more than welcome to chat about any classes, anything like that, while I'm on Twitch or YouTube. So don't be afraid to stop by there. You can always whisper me, and you can also contact me on my Discord. I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for all the tremendous support you guys have been pouring on me. It's absolutely amazing. For real, you make it an honor and a privilege to get to stream and to make this content for you guys. For real, you guys have been remarkable. So thank you guys so much. And with that, may you continue your adventures with the Heart of a Hobbit. Thank you guys again. Thank you so much.